Hello, my name is Véronique Pigeon from Montreal, Canada. Bonjour. So I'm speaking to you as an individual and group supervisor, as a CPL as well through CTI, the Coactive Training Institute. And today I want to talk to you about something that would be really useful for coactive coaches, both those in certification and also those who have graduated. I'm sure a lot of you may not have heard of this, and that would be useful. So I want to talk to you about the arc of coaching. So as you see here, arc of coaching, you may have heard, consists in 10, 80, 10. So that initial 10% is the introduction, the 80% is the coaching itself, and the last 10% is the conclusion of the coaching session. Now, I want to talk to you specifically today regarding that initial 10%. And what I mean by that is, how do we relate to our clients as we come into relation with them? Now, in terms of empowered relationship design alliance, and how to create that structure that sets ourselves up for success for that coaching session. Now, what I see missing a lot of times is, how do you want to prepare yourself so that you have a structure that will support you and enable both you and your client to make that happen? So let's go through some of those tips. Now, the first thing is, your client shows up maybe stressed from their day, maybe, like in their head, not connected, showing up without a topic. So how do you want to manage that? Right? So thinking about all those things that can happen so that you are prepared and set up. So if there's some clearing to be done, for example, so your client shows up with anxiety, with a lot on their mind. So what will you be putting into place for your client to get grounded, get present, maybe a few deep breaths, and get settled so that they can be present and use that time with you. Another thing is, I hear a lot is students say that their clients show up without a topic, right? So over time, they may get to that point. Now, how do you want to manage that as a coach, right? What do you want to set up so that your client does have a topic for you to coach on? So I send my clients 4 questions for them to get ready for that session. You may want to rely on, again, on your coactive model. So you may have designed with your client from the start, you may have done a wheel of life. So how about going back to it? You may have set up some goals from the beginning, right? So going back to that. Or you can do a visualization with your client on the inner leader and their allies, or on the house of you, whatever inspires you or is needed in that moment. Another thing is, there may be something you want to design with your client. So over time, this is an ongoing thing. Empowered Relationship Design Alliance is not something you just do at the beginning of the coaching engagement and then off you go. You continue checking in with your client and asking for what you need from each other to create that reliable and trusting space for you both, right? So remember that triangle of the coach-coachee relationship, right? So now I want to get to something that I see missing so many times. So listen in. It has to do with the TAP formula. So TAP being topic, agenda, and principle. So as easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay? So topic, the first part, it needs to be clear and resonant. Now, what I mean by clear is, you may want to paraphrase back to your client, because sometimes your client, it may be clear for them, but not for you as a coach, right? So you may want to paraphrase that back to your client so that you're both clear on what that topic is. So let's say your client said, I get into arguments with my brother-in-law and it's not working and it's creating hell for the family or whatever. So I'm hearing that your topic today is regarding your relationship with your brother-in-law. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So now it needs to be resonant. And what I mean by that is that it needs to be meaningful, or else what's the use of coaching your client on this topic, right? So if you're doubting that, so you may want to ask your client, so what about this is important, right? Or it could be on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is this in your life right now, right? So that's the first step. Now, second step is establishing session agenda. So you will find this on the review sheet. And I would say 80% of the people I see not using this. So this is really important. And what we mean by agenda is you're wanting to ask your client, what is it they want to get today regarding the topic they brought to your attention, right? So for example, questions could be, so client, what is it that you want to take away today regarding your relationship with your brother-in-law? Or what would be a successful outcome or a successful coaching session regarding your relationship with your brother-in-law? It could be, what do you want to clarify? What do you want to explore? Right? What would you want to get out of the session? Now, that agenda kind of sets the tone in terms, it's like having an internal GPS. So are we heading north, south, east, west with this? Right? So that you don't fall into the pitfall of problem solving, leading, or floundering, or failing, a coaching session, right? In terms of coactive. Now, that was step number 2. Step number 3 is principle. Now, if your client says, I'm kind of stuck, I don't know where to go with this because it's been, strenuous for the longest time. So you may want to start off with balance, right? Your client is stuck. Now, if they get more conflicted, like we have different, views on life, and it's creating a toll on the family, so you may want to start off with fulfillment. And finally, if they get more emotional about it, then you may want to start off with process, right? It's all about dancing in the moment and tuning in to what your client needs. So how is that for setting yourself up for success? So I hope this has been useful. So please remember, so I'll write it down as I'm sharing this with you. So the TAP formula is really what is missing, and that will help you to make a successful coaching session, both for you and your client. So hope this has been useful, and I look forward to maybe some more recordings and sharing with you some of those nuggets. Until then, take good care. Keep on coactivating. Bye.